Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier with Mike's Not So Instant TV series review or streaming series review. Hulu has a few good series out. Let's talk about Life and Beth, ampersand, or how do you say that? Aversind, the and sign, the fucking thing, the ampersand. Life and Beth. Amy Schumer, okay. I mean, that's just very dividing right there. Should you watch this? Should you not? I actually enjoyed it. I have mixed feelings on Amy Schumer. I liked her a lot when she first came out, like when she first hit big with all the Comedy Central stuff and a comedy special there, a comedy special here. I never really watched Inside Amy Schumer at the time. No particular reason, I just didn't watch it. And then years later, I find all these YouTube videos of, Amy Schumer stealing jokes or this, that, or the other, stealing sketches. I've watched them. I've enjoyed those videos, and there's a lot of things. There's certain sketches that were on her show, apparently, that were very derivative. The word of the day is derivative of other people's stuff. Some really spot-on things. Also, some of her stand-up comedy. You can also, the excuse or the story might be, well, hey, it's a collective unconsciousness. There's some things, how many OJ and Nicole jokes can you tell? Hey, why was OJ such a great football player? Because he knew how to cut and run. Everyone's got the same joke. Everyone's got the same punchline. Yet, Amy's case seemed to be pretty extreme, that she had a lot of stuff that seemed like she might have borrowed or stolen from others. Moving forth, I did not see Trainwreck in the theater. I did see it on television at some point, HBO or something. I thought Trainwreck was pretty good. The movie that she did with Goldie Hawn as her mother, I thought was passable. But yeah. So now we come back to. So how do I feel? I'm kind of like a 60% positive for Amy Schumer, 40% negative. She doesn't rub me the wrong way. Like a lot of people get very upset about her. I don't. But then at the same time, I'm not buying an Amy Schumer fucking album or a t-shirt either. So let's get to this goddamn review. What did I think? Mike, should we invest our time? I guess if you're open-minded, if you want to, if you don't think Amy Schumer is of any value, this might change your mind if you're open to watching. If you're not, then don't. If you're a big fan of hers, I think you'd probably like it. From my perspective, I'd say it's the best work of hers I've seen since Trainwreck, and I'd say it's actually better than Trainwreck. And I'll go into some depth here. I mean, it's a very contemporary story, meaning you're going to have characters texting and cell phoning each other, and you're going to have, certain hot button topics and so forth portrayed, you know what I mean? I actually had a mismemory. I was just telling somebody about this series, and I was remembering the father is Colin Quinn, but I think Colin Quinn was actually her father's, the guy that played her father in the Trainwreck movie. Of course, somebody has to park near me when I'm doing this. I'm just trying to be very intimate with you, the viewer, and there's other people around. But the father in this one is actually Michael Rappaport, who's often known as being the white guy in a Spike Lee movie, but he did a pretty good job. You're getting old when you start seeing all the actors you knew from the 90s are now playing the fathers and the grandfathers, like Nicolas Cage playing a grandfather in this new movie, The Retirement Plan. Moving forth, getting back on track, 10 episodes of this Life in Beth. Who is Beth? Beth is a wine saleswoman, which is pretty interesting. I don't think, what was it, Sideways, the last time we saw wine as a pertinent subject matter. Of course, she's got men trouble, boy trouble, and of course she's got childhood flashbacks to what screwed her up in the first place. She's thinking back to childhood. Her parents did not get along very well. Her father was kind of inept, and I think he had a drinking issue, which kind of led to her having a severely injured back, or actually it was a knee, which very much ruined her fledgling volleyball career. I don't know how much of this stuff is autobiographical. Some of it sounds very familiar to things that were in the movie Trainwreck. So look, like everybody else, Amy's got issues to work out, and she does so with her art. and we can all relate to it if you've ever played volleyball or had a alcoholic father that ruined your volleyball career. So moving forth, yeah, she's got this guy at work that, you know, it's her boyfriend, and it's pretty good with the filmmaking or the TV series making, because just by the way that this guy says things and does things, you can tell that he's not the perfect fit for Amy. He's not abusive towards her in any way, but yet his stylings, his outlook on life, how he's kind of a prima donna and how he has to be the center of things, you know that's not going to be good for the long haul. I believe in the first episode, Beth gets a tragic phone call that her mother has passed away. She has to go out for the funeral. She brings Bobby Boyfriend, and kind of in a weird move, Bobby Boyfriend arranges a proposal shortly after her mother's funeral. So that's really the whistleblower. Her sister's there, and her sister kind of knows her very well. They know each other, and her sister's like, look, I know you're not going to marry this guy. Why are you pretending? So off to the races we go. She breaks up with him, and then it's like, okay, Beth needs to find a new stack of dick to fuck for the rest of the series. So I think she has a little rendezvous with one other guy, and then she finally meets this character, a gentleman farmer, so to speak, played by Michael Cera, who we've all had our fun with, super bad, and he's usually the comforting boyfriend of some woman. In this, he's got a little bit of balls in his pants. He's a farmer who kills rabbits and serves up their livers. He's assertive. He's a little maligned from his own feelings. He's a little odd, a little quirky, because he's lived on the farm with the animals for too long. But he's got a good heart. And so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. And meanwhile, her sister, I can't remember the sister's name. She is I believe she was a lesbian character, kind of keeps her private life private. Beth also has some other friends from her life, from work. Like I said, the aforementioned Michael Rappaport is the dad who's trying to overcome his issues, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. And interestingly enough, a character that we kind of see as an antagonist early on, the boyfriend character, once Beth breaks up with him, he kind of has a descent into madness, and before you know it, he's actually a sympathetic character because his life goes to ruin. So you never know. So what did I think? I banged this out, I think in a day, I think in a night. I think I sat there, and I think each episode, I want to say, was 40 or 45 minutes. And I think I just sat there and watched the whole goddamn thing. So obviously I was entertained. Obviously I enjoyed it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't have watched it, and I wouldn't have suggested it to you. So there you go. Life with Beth, or Life and Beth. I guess it might be one of those Mandela effects 15 years from now, of people remembering Life in Beth instead of Life and Beth. There's a little Sex in the City reference, or Sex in the City. That's it. So Life in Beth, good job, Amy, is a thumbs up for you.